Hello everyone and welcome to my Sprocketmonger Lockenstock Mythic guide. So on this, not a huge amount has changed compared to Heroic, but there's a new ability that's called Polarization. So the raid groups get split in half. You have half of you that are red, half of you that are blue, and every so often he does a cast that will swap your colour, and you need to make sure you're stood with the group that's relevant to you. This also affects the bombs, where you'll have a red bomb and a blue bomb, and basically only a red player can pop a red bomb, and only a blue player can pop a blue bomb, and the weaker sorts all that out for you, so it's not really much to worry about on that front. Other than that, you'd just pop hero on pull. You'd bring 2 tanks and 4 healers, and then also it's good to have a paladin or a demon hunter or something that can stop knockbacks essentially. What we did is we had 1 tank take every single sort of party pack, so they could leap away easily and they could avoid the knockback when the phase 2 starts, and then 1 tank just tanked the boss all other times essentially. So yeah, let's get into it and have a look at the rotations. So this is pretty much something that you'll need to live by in this boss fight. So this shows you cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. You should really have enough damage that you're pretty much killing it as you go into it. Maybe you'll have to do the first set of mines that you can see down there, but it should be a case of you have enough time to sort of scramble through and kill it here. Just be prepared to do those mines. So you can see in the first cycle there's sort of 1 easy set of mines at the start, and then another easy set of mines halfway through, and then just before you go to the gateway there's a horrible set of mines. So what will happen is you'll have the healers, basically, if you're using NS or Liquid I believe, the healers will do these first set of bombs, so all 4 of your healers, so make sure that they're prepared for that, okay? And then you move the boss down a bit, and then in the next section when you move into there, it will be your melee that will be doing these next 4. After that, you would expect it to be 2 range players that get those 2 far ones. Normally not mages at this point. I think it's hunters normally at this point, because the major ones are a bit harder later on. So it can be hunters or evokers or even locks, and they go and they do these far ones. And then yeah, normally it's melee for those last 2. You'll then have to deal with the gateway, and I'll show you how to do with it. There's various different methods you can do on the gateway, but yeah, I'll show you the positioning of that now. So if we just go right back to the start of the fight, you can see that basically you get the polarization come in, you go to your side. The healers will then get told what bomb they're doing. So you can see here it says that he's doing second on star, so he'll then need to basically position himself, because it's over on the blue people. He needs to wait for the first one to get popped, and it'll come up and it'll show him once that's happened. So he's positioning himself by star waiting, and it says next in 1 second. As soon as that goes, runs over, goes straight back to your team. Okay, so this is what it would look like for healers at the start, and you can see how we've got the ranged out at the top baiting to run the drills down, because we don't want them to be part of the group or get in the healer's way at all. So depending on the side you start, you either go to the right or the left, and you bait drills down, and then the healers can deal with it, and there'll be no one in their space. So just so I can show you what the range do here, you can see they all start in the middle until they get given their colour, and then as soon as they're given their colour, they split each side, and then they just can stay here and wait for the drills to spawn. They're not doing any drills because sorry, they're not doing any bombs, because the healers are doing them this time, so they can just stand up here, DPS away, be on the right side, red would be on the other side, and then just go down here, carrying on DPSing, drills baited easily. Okay, so the remainder of phase 1 is actually just done in 1 position, which is really quite nice. So we've moved the boss down like we showed you on that image, just to this bit, and we're going to go as quick as we can, moving down in between these next 2 markers. So as I said, if you're using an S, these will be your markers. If you're using Liquid, the markers will be slightly different, but it's the same premise. So from now on, we pretty much just play here. You can see in the top left, there's melee names that have been put onto a list. There's also 1 hunter, which is a bit odd, but that's because of our setup. Really easy set of drills and set of mines here. So it's just 4 close ones. The drills just step backwards and go out on both sides, and the mine people just go and deal with the mines. And then you have some rockets coming in, not too bad. And then you have the polarity swap. So, you know, red is right is always the rule as you're looking at the boss, and you just swap. You can't hit each other while you're swapping, okay? So you can just swap straight over to the other side. No problems, do it quickly, get it over and done with, okay? I've not gone over it, but basically, if you are polarity shifted and you're in the wrong place, you will knock everyone all over the place. So you need to, make sure that you're not standing in the wrong place, because you'll just hit a strike essentially. Okay, so this last set of mines, you can see you've got a hunter and an evoker going far, so off they go straight away and get them done. And then the next two need to be ready to pop them as quick as they can, because this is the close set. So on this set, I would say just play as safe as you possibly can. You get pulled in at the same time, and you just want to make sure that you're, you know, not moving into the other side, and you're just chill. So whatever happens to the boss, wherever it goes, you just chill on your spot. And then, yeah, we can get into this gateway and showing you the different ways of taking this gateway. So if you're a blue player on this, it's actually relatively easy, but obviously it changes, so you really need to do the gateway and learn it. So I'll just show you blue to start with, because, you know, it's the easiest sort of one. So what we'll do is this bit will come in and you'll get pushed, and you'll stay in the same spot, you'll try not to move, and you'll dodge the rockets. Then the tank that's going to get the pyro pack every time would take the boss and would move it up into position for the gateway. Okay, so you can see the gate will be over on the red side. I would just wait until he gets the pyro pack. And when the other tank gets the pyro pack, they'll jump up, so they're ready to, you know, deal with the pushback, and then you swap. And then blue players would just be sort of not too far over. You just need to be sort of at the top, and then get knocked to where the boss is going, and perfect. Okay. For reds, it's all about taking a gateway, but for blues, you just position yourself so you get knocked up into that top corner. Don't be too far around, you'll just go flying off the edge. If you're too straight, you have to stay in the middle. So melee want to be a little bit more diagonal, and range can be in the middle, so that's not a problem. Yeah, okay, so here is the sort of first gate strat, where you just spam it as much as you possibly can, essentially. So you can see the gate's just behind him, and what he's going to do is going to move up to the group. He's going to make sure that between the boss and the gate there's a straight line. And then as soon as the beta launch cast comes in, so we've done the swap here, people are in the right spots. And as soon as the cast comes in, he's just going to start spamming his gateway shard, and then up you go, and you're fine. So that's one strat, is just spam, 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 and as you get knocked over it, it should gateway you. The other strat is that you stand on the gateway, and just as the push, or just in front of the gateway, and as it reaches 0, you can press it just afterwards, and then it will also take you. It depends on what you think's best for you. I would try out both. Mine was better to stand on the gateway rather than to spam. Sometimes when I spammed, I just went straight over the gateway, so I found that easier. But yeah, let's carry on with the second phase. Yeah, so the start of the second phase hasn't missed much. Basically, all that's happened is we've done one polarity shift, and now we're in position for our drills. What we can see is that it's picked 2 range players through the far mines, and it's got 2 healers on the other ones. So basically just waiting, and then it's done. Okay, so this is actually not too bad. What you need to get here is you need to just make sure we're safe in between the big purple things. They're a lot larger now, but this set is pretty chill. What's going to happen is we're going to have the tank who's taking the party pack now will take off of the person who's not doing it, and we'll move down. You can see they have reds get given the thing to move down, and all of the blues should be going down the middle. You then get back in position for drills again, because this gets a lot tighter, and then you move in and you move in, and you can see again it's got 2 healers and 2 melee and 2 ranged, and then you just get in and it's a lot tighter. Okay, but there is no push and shove coming yet. So onto that section. Okay, so we're currently here on the cycle, and we're moving into basically doing these 2 mines, the 2 far top ones and the 2 bottom right ones, and then we're moving on to doing just a square of mines, but with a really, really, really tight timing on the beams. So this is probably the hardest part of the phase, and then once you get to the next gateway and you do the next polarization, you're pretty much there. Okay, so yeah, just to let you know, this is where we are, and this is where we're be going from. So this is the bit to really, really pay attention to. Okay, so you can see that basically the other tank is tanking. The 2 sides are doing their drills moving into us, because the beams come in quite quickly, so they don't have a huge amount of time to do it the other way, and that's really important. So what's going to happen is the other tank is going to get the pyro pack. There's then going to be a change in colour. Okay, and I'm going to sprint over to the other side to get into position. I'm going to yell at everyone, I'm red, I'm red, I'm red, give me room. Okay, and then I'm going to take him into the right spot. They're going to give me space, and I just go over the other side. That's what your tanks need to do at that point in time. I could have been blue when the polarization changed, but basically I'm free to move when polarization comes in. You can now see that they're baiting the drills perfectly from top down, and if they didn't do that, there would not have been time to get in there. So you really, really need to make sure that you bait from top down. I'll just show you a range perspective of that so you can sort of understand what I'm talking about. So you can see from ranged here, what's going to happen is we're just at the top. We need to run down still. So they're in the middle track, so just go through the middle, nice and easy. You then go straight to positions for baiting drills. And obviously if you're a mine, you'd be dealing with a mine, but you just go straight to drill bait position, which you can see nice and easy. There are the drills, in, and then you get in, and there's no panic about, you know, not being in there in time, because you're running from away to inwards, and it's perfect. Then we move over the other side, and blue and red blue and red range need to get to their positions very quickly. They need to watch out for these mines, obviously, but there you go. So we swapped over to red. So he'll be doing the drill bait just down the bottom here. He just had a drill, so he doesn't actually need to bait, so not the ideal, but you can see the two groups are where they should be, and you can see that they then start moving in. Once the drills come in they come. And again, very, very tight, that if they weren't doing it from there, they wouldn't have made it in. That's the hardest part. In this phase, when you're getting pushed around, all you do is survive. You press CDs, you move, you don't try and DPS, you just survive. And then let's get on to that final gateway, where this time it's blue that will be taking the gateway, and red that will be just getting knocked straight up. So we stand here and we wait, and we wait, and we wait, because we're going to have a polarization come in. So when polarization comes in, that's when we'll swap. So it all happens, everybody swaps. Red get to the top this time to get knocked straight down the middle. Very important to get knocked straight down the middle, and blue are on a gateway. So yeah, you can see blue gateway there. People just get knocked to the center, and you just hit away at the boss until he dies here. In this phase, it's basically survive the intermission, hit the boss as much as you can, and when you come out of the phase, you have 4 bombs to deal with in the exact same manner you've been dealing with them. There'll be 2 ranged ones, and there'll be 2 melee ones. You make sure that people get those bombs, and they don't mess around with them. And then you basically just kill the boss from, you know, him being so low. One thing you do here is you go up and down rather than side to side. So reds would go up towards this star marker, and blue would be down the other end. Okay, it means that the reds can just go straight down that conveyor belt and where they need to get the mine, essentially. If you do go further than this, then there's some balls that come in that you can just by no means let hit you. You'll see at the end here, just when we're about to kill it, the balls come in and they just start destroying our raid, because we killed it when we got here the first time, and so we were not really good at ball dodging, let's put it that way. So yeah, you can see that we just all get annihilated. But yeah, essentially on this fight, it's just a case of listen to the weak aura, be very, very prepared for your mines and your mindsets that you can possibly get. Always be in a good position to bait the drills. Have your tanks know where they're moving the boss, and whenever you're getting like the horrible crossover of all of the abilities, use a CD and just don't DPS. Just let it pull you, and you'll do absolutely fine here. As I said, we used NS. You can use Liquid. They both do the exact same thing. And yeah, I would say taking a minimum of say 10 range is the best thing to do here. It means that you would never get sort of drills on your melee while you're progging as much, because when it goes sort of below 8, I believe that's when it starts putting drills on people. So yeah, I'll put a big raid plan in the video, so you can have a look at that, and it gives you basically the step-by-step running through of every single position. And then also I'll add this image as well that we shows you the cycles. So if you've got any questions, just ask me, and as always, thank you very much for watching. If you can leave a like and subscribe, and I will be with you on the next one soon. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks to those that helped, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.